Lan13. X3 won theirs. So we're in Hedonistic Panzers versus Locally Pwned, and X3 versus Look at Me. We're in the seats. But
What's up?
how you doing?
I'm doing. You might have to help me in January.
Oh, for real?
Well, in January I'm probably going to be at CES.
Okay.
So what we might do is I'll see about sending some stuff for this, and then doing a Skype call in, maybe on Saturday for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. See if they'll put it up on the projector for a while.
Oh, wow.
That way I get to be here.
Okay, sounds good, sounds good. So tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay, well, my name's Ed Crisler, and I'm the North American PR representative for Sapphire Technologies.
Okay.
Which is a polite way of saying I get paid to play video games and travel the country doing it.
Awesome. You're awesome.
It is seriously. I tell all my friends I've retired because this is what I would do if I had money and retired. I'd go to LAN parties. I'd play video games. And that's what I get to do, and I get paid for it.
Nice, nice. So tell us about the card that y'all got up there.
Well, what we've got up there demoing, we have the 290X VaporX, which is our current highest-end single graphics GPU card.
Right.
Amazing card. The cooling on it, the Sapphire is known for its cooling technology. We always do stuff a little over the top. So we've got a vapor chamber cooler that's in place with triple fans. And then we also introduced for the first time on a video card PCB cooler. Now the PCB is the card itself. That's what everything gets stamped to.
Right.
And in the middle of that card is a copper layer. That's what interconnects everything.
Okay.
So what we've done is normally when you make these cards, you close off that area so the copper layer is not exposed. We left the top open, and then we put a heat sink on it. So this is pulling heat right out of the middle of the video card. Nobody's ever done this before. Now, it's not a big deal. It's only getting you 2 to 3 degrees centigrade.
Right.
But 2 to 3 degrees centigrade is still a lot of temp when you're under load.
Right.
So you mix this with the vapor chamber cooling or triple fans, and suddenly you've got a card that takes a 290X and tames the heat beast.
That's nice because that was always one of the things about AMDs is the heat. And with that, you got
The 290X has had a lot of heat trouble.
Right.
It really does have a lot of heat that needs to be dissipated. We're later to market with this. A lot of companies rush to market. They took existing coolers, slapped it on the card, and said, "There you go, it'll work." It didn't. It didn't. And if your viewers have been following it, they know it didn't always work.
Right.
We didn't do that. We did first our Tri-X. We took and we designed a cooler specifically for the 290. We looked at all the factors and designed the cooler. And our Tri-X was very successful. But our engineers looked at it and said, "Oh, we can do better than this." So they actually sat down, and we came a couple of months late because we took our time, made sure we did all of this right, and the end result is the best cooling 290X that's on the market today.
Nice, nice. Now, I know I've been asked you this before, but I got to ask you again.
Okay.
What are you putting through its paces with? What games do you like playing?
Right now, my big game with my wife, and you see, I'm a serious gamer. My wife games even with me.
Right.
Elder Scrolls Online. We really put in about 30 hours a week, seriously, of gameplay. You see, I admit this. I live, breathe, and eat and drink and sleep PC gaming.
Right.
It's amazing. We put in quite a bit. Of late, we've also been getting into Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare.
Oh.
It is such it goes back to the fundamentals of PC gaming. It's fun.
Right.
It doesn't have to be realistic. I don't play PC games to extend my world. I play PC games to escape the world. So I don't want to hunt terrorists. I don't want to fight the Chinese. I don't want to do this crap. Give me a game that's a little cartoony, a little silly, a little irreverent. That's why I love Borderlands 2 so much.
Right.
It's a game that's just fun. And it's nice to see games starting to go back that way. I really do like it. Garden Warfare, let's face it, EA kind of surprised us.
Yeah.
Because between Battlefield and SimCity for a launch, EA was not having a good roll. Launches were not going well. And Garden Warfare came out. They had a little bit of problems with the servers early on.
Right.
But that's all solved, and the game is just a ton of fun. It really is worth buying.
Right. And that's, I know, like I said, I'm right there with you with as far as games being fun, because that's the kind of vibe we like keeping around on our channel and stuff. It's just great games.
If you're not having fun, why are you gaming?
Exactly.
I mean, seriously, okay? That's like, I know people enjoy EVE Online, and I know a lot of people that enjoy it, and more power to them. But come on, I don't want my game to be a job. Okay, for me it is. Never mind. Hold on, that's a bad analogy. Because my game is a job for me.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? I don't want to pick up a video game and dread the time I'm playing.
Right.
I want to be excited, looking forward to when I get to play it.
Right, and it's like I've done watched some streamers that the biggest anomaly to me in gaming is the angriest of gamers. They're just so angry. It's like, why are you angry? You got a $3,000 rig sitting down.
Yeah, let's see. I've got a lot of reason to be mad here, okay? I've got companies that are handing me hardware and companies that are handing me games, and I've got thousands of people that watch and pay attention to what I say. I need to be ticked off.
They sit there, they laugh at me all the time because I have a grin from here to here. I'm just too happy with it.
That's what you're supposed to be. It's gaming. People, it's gaming. Watch your children when they play with Tonka toys and Legos. Do they look like they're ticked off at them?
Yeah. My oldest daughter, sometime we had to watch
okay,
it.
there are moments. There are moments. But you know what? Frustration in the game is okay. It's when you're ticked off at gaming in general. Yeah, a lot of these angry gamers, I know a few of them that post those videos.
Right.
They're not really angry. That's their stick.
Right.
That's how they hook people. That's how they get them into it, and they're not really angry.
And I like teasing those folks too, because I'm like, look at you, you're grinning. I see you on camera, and they're like, stop it, Ron, stop it. Stop.
I don't want to smile. If I smile, they'll think I'm a nice guy, and then they may not watch the video.
And it's like, and like I said, we try and laugh, and we have. So, how you enjoying Lan13?
Oh, this is a great event. I tell everybody, if you're a PC gamer and you don't have a local LAN event, find one as close as you can get it.
Right.
Take a weekend, make it your vacation. There is an experience about LAN events that you just don't get sitting at home. I love my guild. I'm part of a guild called the Old Timers Guild.
Right.
Which I'm an old guy, so it makes sense. And I love the people in my guild. I love hanging out with them on Mumble and talking to them. They're great people. But it doesn't replace being in a room with us, being in a room with you, being in a room with others, being able to fist bump when something goes good, being able to stand there and look over your shoulder and go, you suck. and just share a beer or share a Coke, share a piece of pizza, to sit down and have that experience. And if you've never done it, you've got to go do it. Find a LAN event and go do it. It doesn't have to be a 250 or a 500 person LAN event.
Right.
It could be a little 75 or 100 person LAN event. It's just an incredible experience. And until you do it, you don't realize what you're missing.
Right. And that's like it. We call it that arcade experience. It's like back in the day.
Back in the day, yes,
we
the
went
arcade.
we went to the arcade. You sit there and you be watching your friends play. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
hanging in there. But you'll be watching, huh? We got put out. We were.
Yeah, they sucked at League of Legends.
We just left it right there.
It could have been worse. I could have played. I'm downstairs. For everybody that doesn't know, they do a barbecue downstairs on Friday night.
Right.
They're here. Which, by the way, if you've ever been to a LAN barbecue, oh my God! So the food is so good because you sit the whole weekend, you're sitting here and you're eating potato chips and McDonald's, and suddenly you got fresh burgers off the grill and brats, and it's like gourmet. Chef Ramsay showed up. All right. And so we're sitting down there and we're talking, and these Were you one of them? You were one of the guys. This group of guys from the League of Legends team were behind me. They're talking strategy for the tournament. And I turned around and I looked at them and I said, well, you know what? For me, it's really easy to pick which hero I'm going to play. Because I suck at them all. So I'm going to die. I'm going to do awful. Hey, I'll play whatever you want.
Every once in a while, they say a broken clock is right twice a day.
I'm not in League of Legends.
I try and shine up those 2 times.
Brother, I'm not in League of Legends, though I did have, about an hour ago, I had a Plants vs. Zombie run that was awesome.
Oh.
I got about 10 kills before they found me. It was so much fun. I'm sitting up on top. I'm a zombie with my little machine gun and my rocket launcher, and I was sitting up on top of the building, and the plants are all milling around. The problem was the rest of my team was all down on the ground, milling around.
That's some complaints about the noise over here.
Complaints about the noise. This is the man that's responsible for... Bend down so
Bend down so we can see you. This is Mr. Burden. He's the one responsible for this fantastic event.
Don't come.
You want to be
away.
right here. You want to be right here.
No.
This is the party corner.
Stay away.
What do you mean too loud? It's a LAN event. You can't be too loud. They got headphones on. Tell them to get over and turn the volume.
What is that? Turn down for what?
I don't see any Steelers shirts. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Saints fan, man. No, I appreciate the Steelers.
I don't see any Saints shirts.
I don't. There you go. There's the selfie.
There's
Selfie.
Snapchat.
There you go.
Cool. Man.
Reman.
But we've enjoyed this. Like I said, it's that whole arcade vibe. You stand around, and it's like I tell them, my ADD is just going off because I have literally just gone from machine to machine. I tackled him last night. I'm on my way to bed, and I tackled him going, oh, what is that?
Yeah, that's why I don't do League of Legends tournaments. It's not that I don't think it's a fun game. I think it looks like it's a blast.
Oh, yeah.
It's just not. I'm an RPGer. I love a good role-playing game.
Right.
I'm one of these guys. This is why I can't do League, because I'll do this in the middle of the lake. I'll be walking around Skyrim, and I'll see a waterfall for the first time. Right. And I will stop, and my wife will tease me to death. She's been, you can look at that for 10 minutes. It's so pretty. So I can see this happening in League. I'm going to be walking around and go, that's really cool. Right. Oops, I'm dead.
The first time in League, I noticed it, champs that, if you notice around in the forest, there are champs that didn't quite make it in or didn't get the cut, or they're like hidden in the forest and stuff. And the first time I noticed, I was like blundering. I'm supposed to be jungle, and I'm blundering in the forest looking to see who else I can find, what other Easter eggs are hidden.
This is cool. Forget the game. I want to explore the forest. Look at this flower. Oh, I'm dead.
Plants vs. Zombies. Have you heard of Garden Warfare?
Yes, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, you should hit them up and say, I'm at a huge LAN party. You should send us a bunch of codes and get everyone playing and streaming.
Well, you know what? I'll have to see what I can do about that. I got some contacts out at Origin, and if they're watching, they'll know to get a hold of me. We'll have to hook it up and see if we can get it streaming, get some Plants vs. Zombie action going.
Oh, yeah.
Are you still streaming?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Can I say hi to the stream?
Yeah.
Hi, stream.
Where's the video camera?
Right there.
Right here.
What's up, y'all?
I want to read the chat.
Duck down so they can see your face.
Hey.
Otherwise, they're just seeing like your belly and down, and that's not pretty. Okay.
Well, you know, I was looking at the right screen. I don't know where I was.
And see, he brings food around the big man.
See, I don't know if any of your viewers have got any questions.
Let's see. The thing is, it's probably going to be a little bit hard because of the delay, but
well, we'll wait.
It says, so every time a new flagship card comes out, I lust after it and buy the slightly older cards for the value. What's the card going to cost is what they're wanting.
Okay, you know what? First, here's a mistake everybody makes with PC gaming. They think they have to buy the biggest and best card.
Right.
And if you throw enough money at anything is cool.
Right.
All right, the truth is, if you're playing on a 1080 monitor, which is where most people are playing,
Okay.
anything above a 280 for most people will not change the gaming experience. It'll give higher frame rates. A 280 card sells for about $300.
Right.
Yeah, it'll change the frame rates, but it won't change the experience.
Right.
Now, here's where it gets even weirder. It depends on the way you play. If you're a competitive first-person shooter, you want those super high frame rates.
Right.
But I always hear, I want those amazing frame rates and amazing image quality. Professional gamers don't care about image quality.
Right.
They drop the image quality to the floor, and they get those amazing frame rates, and they do it on 270 cards, which sell for $1.99. Okay, so you've got this group. Then you got the group like me and like you that are RPG players. We spend our time looking at waterfalls. We don't need 130 frames per second. We want 45 to 50 frames per second at maximum detail level. Again, 270, 280 does the job. The 290 comes into play when either you're moving up to a 1440 monitor. If you're going to go up to the 1440 display, spend the money, get a 290. Okay. If you're one of those that has to have the best detail and the ridiculous frame rates, then a 290 works at 1080 because you can push those 120, 144 frames per second for the refresher of the monitor. Right. For most people, 270, 280 is the best place to buy. Don't get caught up in the latest flagship card because for most people, it's just not needed. And here's the other tip. Look for the step down. We sell two cards in the 290. We sell the 290 and the 290X. Both in a VaporX model, the 290 goes for about $450, and the 290X goes for about $600. $150 price difference, okay? Now here's our secret. Here's our secret. The 290 is within 10% of the performance of the 290X. Unless you needed that extra 4 frames per second, who cares? Save the $150. Personally, I think the 290 is one of our best values. I love our 270X. I think it's a great card. If you're a MOBA player, if you play League of Legends and Dota, and that's real, and Smite, and that's really all you play, we sell a card for $100, the 250X, or 120, the 260X, that will play League of Legends at over 200 frames per second at max detail. Why would you spend more money than that if that's all you play? So it's a great question. Don't get caught up in the high-end, uber high-end stuff. That's great, but a lot of that's bragging rights, or you're pushing a 4K monitor. You're trying to get crazy. The rest of us that live in the real world, we have jobs, we have kids, we have wives. Oh, for God's sake, we have wives. And our money disappears. We've got to be able to budget that. We've got to be able to pull it together and to keep it under control. 280, 270 for 1080 gameplay is an amazing price point, and you get great performance out of it.
That's real important because I tell you what, my wife is the thin line between me and being the nutty professor in the garage inventing stuff on my.
All right, what else we got out there?
Let's see. Anybody else got any questions out there? How you doing, Boldarn? How you doing, Knots? What's up? Amware? If y'all got any questions, this is the time to ask.
Yeah, we've only got a few more minutes. We got some more giveaways to do.
Oh yeah. Where can people find this card right now?
Sapphire cards for North America are primarily sold in Newegg, Tiger Direct on the website, was NCIX for North America sells it for Canada and stuff. Canadian Computers is online for Canada users as well. We don't have much of a presence in brick and mortar stores. Almost everything we do is e-tailers like Amazon and stuff. And that's actually advantageous to the users because it's easier to find it.
Exactly. The brick and mortar thing has been shrinking over the past few years.
Brick and mortar's still got its place, but the problem is good brick and mortar for most people is just not there. If you live near a micro center, well, you're like in heaven. But if you don't live near a micro center, you don't have the options to walk in and pick up the parts you want at a reasonable price, so you're going to rely on e-tailers to get the purchase.
Right, because we almost had a candlelight vigil when they closed our Comp USA that was here. We was in tears because it was just like, no, not this one.
I did an event in Ohio, and Ohio is like the mecca for Micro Center. I was in Miamisburg. To the south of me, 20 minutes, was a Micro Center. To the north of me, 20 minutes, was a Micro Center. A block from the hotel was a Best Buy and an Office Depot.
Okay.
And a block the other way was the LAN event I was attending.
I would be there like picking out brochures for a house.
I called my wife and I said, this is incredible. There's a Shell for gas just down the road. There's 3 restaurants all within walking distance of the hotel. I'm moving here. And she said, yeah, okay, start the alimony now and feel free to stay there. So, never mind.
Let's see. Is there any, will the cards ever come out with an overclock version?
Well, all of our cards have an overclocked version. What we do is this: when we overclock a card, we find out how far we can take the chip, and we have a set stop point, and then we back it off a little bit. And the reason we do that is we give you room to play with it. Now, here's again a simple truth that nobody wants to talk about when it comes to overclocking. You usually don't get enough return for your investment to bother on an overclock. And what I mean by that is this: there's a time investment in overclocking. There's a risk investment in overclocking.
Serious
when you take
risk
a project.
investment.
And, well, not serious. It's really hard to tear up the equipment without being stupid. You have to be really stupid to tear up the equipment. You don't do things like overvolt by 6,000 volts.
Oh, good God.
And, yeah, don't do
Good
stuff like
Lord.
that. So anyway, but the return isn't there. You gain a couple of frames per second in games. I mean, in benchmarks, sure. And if that's what you're doing, if you're one of these people that you like Formula One racing and your dragsters, and that's what you want to do with your PC, more power to you, and that's great. But those people usually go to liquid cooling, like liquid nitrogen and stuff, to try to achieve those outrageous scores. Our VaporX cards are all overclocked. They're faster than factory stock. Our DualX cards tend to be overclocked at faster than factory stock. And it's not big overclocks. They're actually small numbers. The truth is, when you look for a video card, don't spend time looking at the clock speed. Because you get a 290, you get another 290, 2 different brands. Again, my boss, if he sees this, I'm fired. Okay. 2 different brands. Those 290s are going to perform very similar. They're actually going to perform in gameplay very similar. What makes a difference is the quality of the build, the cooling. Is it quiet? Is it cool in operation? That's what makes a difference. And that's what's important, I'm finding, to more and more gamers. They understand the performance is going to be about the same. They want to know, all right, well, when I hook this up, is it going to stay cool, or is it going to be blasting 95 degrees centigrade all over the case? Is it going to stay quiet, or is it going to sound like my computer's a 747 on the runway?
Right.
These things are actually important to gamers more so than performance anymore, because they know in that certain envelope the performance is going to be about the same.
Okay.
And again, that's an area we excel. We are known for our coolers. We are known for the quality of our builds. Our 290X that I'm showing off here, to give an example. Now, this is the high end. I just told you not to buy the high end. But remember, this translates down. This is the quality we do down. Our 290X has 10-phase power. Standard 290Xs have 6. Our 290X has a vapor chamber cooler, which nobody else really uses, though they've tried, and nobody does it as well as we do. We introduced that PCB cooler, so we've got really good performance, really stable build, really solid build with amazing cooling, and you've heard it. The whole system is silent,
Right.
even under gaming load. That to me is what makes a great video card. Overclocking is cool. Don't get caught up in overclocking. At the end of the day, unless that's what you want to do for your fun, it's not worth it as a gamer to spend much time on.
Okay. Let's see, do we got any other questions? One of our players have a 6870 and a 6710 or 6770. And would this be an upgrade for that? I guess would be the question.
The 250 and 260 would both be upgrades for the 6770. The 6870, you said?
I believe so, yeah.
The 6870 would have to move up into a 270X before he would actually get an upgrade. But the upgrades there are actually going to be pretty solid. They're going to be pretty good. Also, it's the feature set. You're going to get more features that are used in modern games that you're not going to have with the older cards like that.
Okay, and I know there's one question from one of our guys from last night that wanted to know is the power footprint. How much power we're going to need to run these cards?
Realistically, anything at 270 and under, if you're not overclocking, you can actually run on about a 450 watt power supply. You can actually run a whole computer on a 450 watt power. I've done it with 270s and less. 280, you want to kick that up to a 550 minimum. A 290, I'd say a 650 is what you want to look at. Now, and that's where it used to be, man. Remember the day when we had to buy 1,000 watt power supplies?
Yes.
We were like, yeah, okay, we need a nuclear reactor in our computer because we've got a new video card. It's not that way anymore. Most single GPU systems will run great on 550, 600, 650 watts. In fact, anything past 750 to me is overkill. You don't really need it. Now, if you're going to run multiple GPUs, that becomes a different story. You want to look at 750s and the 850s. But if you're only going to run a single card, personally, I think 650 is a sweet spot. Buy a 650, and 99% of the time, I don't know of anything that we sell that won't, well, except for the 295X2, which is technically a dual card. Nothing else we sell will have an issue running at 650 watts.
See, and that's fantastic because I remember my old cards, like I'm running a GT560 in mine, and I have an 800 watt power supply.
Oh, you got an overkill power supply.
I had to literally, we were squeezing in this little frame, and it was like, I was like, okay, get the hacksaw. And then my partner finally figured out. So it's good to see that you don't have to
just make sure your hacksaw on the frame and not the power supply.
Yeah, so it's good to see that it's like when it's time to upgrade, we won't have to have these reactors and our electric bills come down.
As long as you're not folding. We got a guy here, and your viewers can't see it because it's way over on the other side of the room. This guy's got this ridiculous monster build that took 3 guys to lift up on the table. He's got 3 video cards in it, and a massive water cooling solution, and everything else, and he does folding at home on it 24/7. Okay, all I gotta say is he's got more money than I do for that power bill.
Sounds like it costs more than my car when it.
Yeah, it uses more gas than your car
There's a
did.
mattress there. I almost tripped. That wouldn't have been fun.
Don't do that. Let's see.
Any other questions?
Um,
We're going to go here in a minute.
Okay. It's saying, basically, they're saying it's nice to know where to go when there's an upgrade. So it looks like you don't want a few players.
Well, for software, here's where it gets cool. NVIDIA introduced, and it's a great piece of software, the NVIDIA Experience, which took away needing to get settings. It added shadow play for recording and everything else. AMD is working with Raptor, has just started really introducing the same things. And the new version actually introduced the ability to have your microphone come into your recordings, which is really nice. The big reason, though, that I like it better, other than the fact that it works with AMD, which is what we make, the real reason I like it better is NVIDIA, when they made the GeForce Experience, what they did was they set down a bunch of engineers in a room with test rigs and started playing games and doing calculations. So it's a scientific approach to what the best setting is. Now that sounds like a good idea, except that's not real. Right. That's clinical conditions. It's not real. What Raptor does is they take metadata. They watch your frame rate, say look at your hardware, and then they put it into this database.
Right.
And you'll actually get a game and you'll load it up, and Raptor will look at you and say, I don't have enough information yet to give you the settings. But once it does have enough information, you're getting information that's been accumulated from thousands and hundreds of thousands of users that are running the same game with the same or similar video card, the same or similar processor, and these are the settings that they have found are the most optimal for frame rates. Awesome. So it's a really neat experience. Definitely buy a Sapphire card. We'll appreciate it. And if you can't, you know what? I'll still like you. You guys are PC gamers, and that's all that matters.
That's good enough.
At the end of the day. That's good enough. I'll pray for them. We'll get them healed of their problems.
Okay. Dude, I appreciate you.
It's been good hanging out with you.
Oh man.
We'll do some gaming here later. Do some giveaways. So we still got the rest of the night.
All right. Thank you again.
Take it easy,
guys. I appreciate you coming through.
See you guys.